What you're about to listen to is pulled from a marketing mastermind call that we did several months ago inside of Hybrid Hub. The goal last January was to work through the marketing system inside the program live together so we could see how well these systems worked for specific members and how to fix the areas where they fell off. These snippets are hopefully valuable, but they don't show how amazing and funny and smart and supportive all the members of Hybrid Hub are. So if you're listening to this episode and you're like, oh my God, this is so amazing, this is a room I need to be in live, then book a free one-on-one call below so we can chat about if Hybrid Hub is the right fit to scale your photo video business this year. On to the episode. Hello. I'm getting myself together. I'm so excited to see you all because this is where marketing for the month gets juicy. I want to start today with a little bit of a talk. And first of all, I want to very clearly point out that I'm ugly today. Because I'm going to my esthetician appointment later, and I'm always saying show up ugly, and I promise I have a point here. The thing I want to say before we get into creating your marketing system is that I don't want any of you to solidify yourself in the identity of being bad at marketing. And what I mean by that is we have to be very careful of our language when we talk about SEO. We can't say, I'm bad at SEO, I'm not ranking, I'm not consistent, I never write, I'm a bad writer. We can't say any of these things because that becomes the truth, right? Don't tell yourself a story because then you'll live into that story, right? And I hear you all saying things like, I'm bad at Instagram. I hate talking to the camera. Batching captions takes me forever. You make these absolute statements about the type of marketer you are that do not have to be true, okay? So when you say, I'm not good at blogging, say yet. Say, I'm not good at blogging yet, and let that be okay. When you say, I don't get YouTube, YouTube scares me, I'm not good at YouTube, say, I'm not good at it yet. When you say things like, I'm not good at talking at the camera, change it to, I'm not good at talking to the camera yet. Reels, I'm not good at reels yet. I'm not good at captions yet. When we decide that we are people who test, we become people that just test things. We become messy action takers. We become people who are doers and who are in congruence, I said that word yesterday, with what we say we will do, with our values, right? So we want to be in integrity with what we say we will do. We want to find that consistency, and we want to find language that supports the type of business owners we want to be. Because if we keep harping on ourselves, then we're just not going to get where we want to go. When you look at this doc, it kind of looks like a shit ton of stuff you have to do, right? But when we really break it down, you do the yearly tab once a year. You'll do that quarterly tab once a quarter. You'll do the monthly tab, you guessed it, once a month. Weekly, it's not a lot of shit to do on the weekly level. Like one day of the week, you're batching the creative to go along with those captions you batched. I forget what else you're doing weekly, but it's not that intense. And then on the daily level, you're just interacting with your viewers, right? We lost someone. I have no idea who it was. Sorry that we lost you. Okay. When we say a system, especially when I say a system, all I mean is a checklist, a repeatable checklist of items that you can do over and over and over again. That is how we find our consistency by doing these actions over and over again. Every single time we're in integrity with what we say we will do, we remind ourselves that we can do it. We're putting another drop in the bucket of just saying, becoming the people we say we want to be, the business owners we say we want to be, right? So doing the action of posting that blog post is a win. It's not, oh, I posted a blog post and it's not immediately ranking. It's, oh, I posted the blog post I said I would post. So I'm in integrity with what I said I would do, and then let that be it. No emotions tied to it. Then we just track the data. We track to see if it's working. Fair enough? Same with every other part of the system. We follow systems because success is on the other side of consistency. Always. Success is on the other side of consistency. Okay, the other reason I put you through all of that, like how to bullshit in the rest of this phase, and for all of you who are worried about these masterminds because you said you don't want to be in phase four before you're in phase four in the program, you're not off the hook for going through phase four. Once you get to that point in the program, I still expect you to go through all the course material and turn in all your homework. So don't worry, you're not cheating or jumping ahead by being in these calls, right? Right now, it's just figuring out the system and starting to implement, but you'll still go through phase four once you get to it in the program. All of this is to say, when you've defined your offer and you know what location you're targeting, you know who you're talking to, you know your income goals, you now know where it is you're going. I talked to Brianna about this on a one-on-one basis yesterday in our coaching call, but we distilled all of this bullshit down to one goal, which is rank for Hawaii elopement photographer and videographer. That's one goal. We know where we're going. And when we get there, we'll focus on another goal. But if you're not ranking for location and what you do, that is the number one emergency in your business when it comes to marketing, right? So know where you're going. I linked this in the recommended listening / reading section of your dashboard, but I love this creator named Ali Abdal, and he's really big into productivity and making productivity fun. And he just made this great video about the GPS method of goal setting. And it distills down to being so dumb, but it's know where you're going, so know the outcome and then have a specific plan to getting there. We can't just set goals and be like, oh, I hope I reach those goals. It's know where you're going and then follow a proven plan to getting there. That is what this system is. And that is what I want to hammer home today, that if we just go through the system, we follow the actions, even if we don't get immediate gratification of a result of a lead, if we just stay consistent, we keep putting these inputs in and showing ourselves that we're the type of person that shows up and stays consistent, follows the system, you will eventually get where you want to go. So we know where we're going for the most part, and the system is the how to get there. So now back to the fact that I look ugly today. I want to ask you, when you're following the system, to understand that this isn't just a journey of getting to where you're going on a nerdy level, on this SEO level, and then turning it into leads and turning those leads into bookings. I'm also asking you to go on a journey of self-confidence, okay? And that's a harder thing to ask you to do, right? You're like, oh, I don't know if we're there on a personal level. I totally get it, okay? I'm asking you to go on a journey of self-confidence, and that means overcoming imposter syndrome. That's a pain point all of you have talked to me about. But like, we also need to sit down and remember what imposter syndrome actually is. And imposter syndrome is ego, right? It's me saying me. I'm not good enough. I'm not qualified enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not talented enough to show up, right? On days where you don't feel like implementing the system, on days where you don't feel like showing up, and when it's a self-confidence problem, when it's an ego problem, that's something you have to overcome with your willingness to be consistent and to implement on the system, right? So if imposter syndrome asks the question, am I enough? If we can shift that over to self-confidence, self-confidence asks, what does my client need? If that's all you're asking yourself every single day or every single week, every month, quarter, when you're implementing the system is, what does my person need from me? Then that should get rid of all of your imposter syndrome, because it's no longer about you. I always joke, like, depending on the person, like if you're more prim and proper, I say, do you want to date your clients or do you want to serve them? I also say, do you want to fuck your clients? Because like, we're not worried about attracting them with how we look. We're not worried about how we sound if they think we're cool. We're worried about making sure they know that we're the best person for the job, that we're the best person to serve them, because we know where they should go. We know
if their personality type is more suited for film or for digital. We know like where they like to shop, what they like to eat, where they should stay for their elopement or wedding or session. We know the answers that they are searching for. So it is up to us as marketers to make sure that we are answering their questions and serving them so well that it's a no-brainer that they would hire us. And when you're asking those questions, what does my person need? When you're in a place of self-confidence, it means you're not thinking about yourself at all. You're thinking about the person you're talking to. So when you look at the system and you're like, how am I going to show up? Like, how can I do this? Like, am I smart enough? Like, will I say the right things? Like, that's all ego. All imposter syndrome is ego. Self-confidence asks, how can I help this person? All right, are we ready to get into the yearly part of this system? Woo! Okay, amazing. Amazing, amazing. So, does everybody have this doc open? Did you make a copy into your drive? Okay, amazing. Yearly. First of all, did I think only a few of you have filled out that homework. I'm glad that this first item, fill out the worksheet from phase 4, lesson 1 in full, is on here on the yearly level, right? So if you decide to renew in Hybrid Hub, I think like 9 months from now, it's like sooner than you think. You don't get to just like stay in co-working and have fun and you're in phase 6 forever. Like you have to redo that homework. Because I want your goals to be bigger every year. I want you to be even more honed in on your messaging and your goals and what you're wanting, right? I always want you to know where you're going every single year. So that's on the yearly level. Then the next action item, you'll confirm your yearly revenue goal, your quarterly targets, your monthly targets, your ideal buyer, keywords, and positioning. Okay, that sounds like a lot, but it's all laid out for you in that phase 4, lesson 1 worksheet. And a bit of it's also reiterated in phase 3 when you're doing your offer and positioning. So you will get through this in a bite-sized, tangible way if you're not there yet, okay? So just give me a thumbs up if that feels good, even if you were feeling overwhelmed before it. Like I promise you'll get through it. It won't be too scary. Now, this is the part I would love for us to do if we could block off 10 minutes and just do it all together because I love committing on the calendar. I would love for you to calendar everything you know. And this is where some perfectionism comes in because some of you are like, well, I don't know how I'll be feeling in August and blah, 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 blah. I don't give a shit if you get to at the end of July and look at your calendar for the next month and see something you blocked off isn't going to work, move it, you know? Like we need to use a little common sense and just be okay with some flexibility, but still honoring our commitments to ourselves, right? Well, future us will figure that out. Deal? So I want you to pull up your calendar. I use HoneyBook, but what I've also started to do is I synced my HoneyBook calendar to a Google Calendar. So if anyone ever, like a subcontractor, this happened to me where they need my calendar, or a partner if they use Google, then your HoneyBook shit will automatically get put on your personal HoneyBook calendar if you sync them. Just a little tidbit if you need to do that today as well. But pick the calendar you use most often, and then I want you to block off time. So 4 times you're gonna do your quarterly checklist. So block off time to do the quarterly work. What you can do if you'll be here Friday is quarter 1 can be blocked off for Friday, if that feels good during marketing time. If you won't be here, then make another time to get quarter 1 done. And then same for the other 3 quarters. I want you to block off any personal time that you know you need to block off. My example that I always use because I think is funny, but some people judge me for it, is I have to block off my kids' freaking birthdays or I will forget. Like I got an inquiry for 2027 today for my daughter's birthday. And I didn't realize that I didn't say no. Like I should have said no until right after I sent it. I was like, oh my God, I'm the worst. So block off any personal time. Block off your work commitments. Weddings should already be kind of on your calendar, but I like to do like editing deadlines and stuff like that too. And then launches and promotions. So a good example would be for Emily to be really diligent about when you're pushing your styled shoot really hard and like what those focused efforts are. So just make sure it's on the calendar so you have time for it. So 10 minutes, I just want you to calendar everything you know. And if you get done early, then feel free to like jot down some like reflections or thoughts about the lesson at the beginning of this call. So 10 minutes, ready, set, go. Okay. Do we feel like we've calendared pretty much everything that we know for the year? Thumbs up or thumbs down? I lost Gabby.
No,
Oh,
sorry, I'm here.
it's okay.
I'm not done with mine, but I just have a lot going on.
No worries.
I'll
There's
keep
a
going.
ton going on. Everyone, let me yap while you finish up. Okay. So let's make sure that on the yearly level that we are making time for that quarterly checklist, because the only time a system works is when you build in the time to implement it. Okay. That personal time, anything non-negotiable. I swear if I didn't block off time, I'm psychotic. I would just book things so sporadically where like even elopements that are flexible that could be moved a day or two forward or backward just end up right in the middle of times where I could take a stretch of time off. So blocking personal time is so important. Work commitments, you know how to do that. Put it in quickly. Any launches and promotion, those rest and catch up periods. Okay. I'm really big on this, and it's the foundation of what makes everything else work is making sure we're building in the time to implement the rest of the system that you'll find on the next tabs. Okay, fair enough. What I want to talk about now is all of you have such similar businesses in what you're targeting, such different personalities and ways to leverage your marketing. I know going into this, especially going into Friday, where on the quarterly level, we are starting to define some more specific things and make specific plans for how to implement our marketing. We might be in a place of overwhelm. We might be in a place of like, how the hell am I going to make this work? Shay's psychotic. She's going to make sure I implement all this. I don't know if I can actually build the time to do it, right? I see you, I hear you, love you, support you.
And that is it for today, friend. Be sure to leave a review and screenshot that review and send it to me at Hybrid Hangout. I'd also love to see the episodes you're loving in your stories so I can share and say hey and thanks for listening. Basically, I just want to be friends. I will see you soon. Beautiful, gorgeous, perfect raccoon with a camera. Let's hang out.